Over the years, Ismail's children themselves had children. His descendants increased and formed tribes which spread out all over the Arabia. One of these tribes was called Quraysh. Its people never moved away from Mecca and always lived near the Kaaba. One of the duties of the leaders of the Quraysh was to look after those who came on pilgrimage to the Kaaba. The pilgrims would come from all over Arabia, and it was a great honor to provide them with food and water. As time passed, however, the Arabs stopped worshipping Allah directly and started bringing idols back them from the different countries they visited. These idols were placed at the Kaaba, which was no longer regarded as the sanctuary of Allah, as Ibrahim had intended it. It was, however, still respected by the Arabs. Around this time, the well of the Zamzam disappeared beneath the sand. Also at this time, Qassi, one of the leaders of Quraysh, became ruler over Makkah. He held the key of the temple and had the right to give water to the pilgrims, to feed them, to take charge of meetings, and to hand over war banners before battle. It was also in the house that Quraysh settled their affairs. After Qassi's death, his son Abdu Manaf, who had become famous during his father's lifetime, took over the leadership of Quraysh. After him came his son Hashim. It is said that Hashim was the first to begin the two great caravan journey of Quraysh, one in the summer to Syria and north, and one in the winter to Yemen and the south. As a result, Makkah grew rich and became a large and important center of trade. One summer, Hashim went north to buy goods to sell in Yemen. On his way, he stopped in Yathrib to trade in the market, and there he saw a beautiful woman. She was Salma, the daughter of Amr ibn Zayd, who was from a much respected family. Hashim proposed marriage to her and was accepted because he was an honorable and distinguished man. In time, Salma gave birth to a beautiful son, and as some of his hair was white, they called him Shaiba, which in Arabic means grey-haired. Mother and son stayed in the cooler, healthier climate of Yathrib while Hashim returned to the Makkah. But he would visit them each time he took his caravan to the north. During one of these journeys, however, Hashim became ill and died. Shaiba, a handsome, intelligent boy, grew up in his uncle's house in Yathrib. He was proud of being the son of Hashim ibn Abdi Manaf, the head of Quraysh, guardian of the Kaaba, and protector of the pilgrims, even though he had not known his father, who had died while Shaiba was very young. At Hashim's death, his brother Al-Muttalib took over his duties and responsibilities. He traveled to Yathrib to see his nephew Shaiba and decided that as the boy would one day inherit his father's place, the time had come for him to live in Makkah. It was hard for Salma, Shaiba's mother, to let her son go with his uncle, but she finally realized that it was for the best. Al-Muttalib returned to the Makkah, entering the city at noon on his camel with Shaiba behind him. When the people of Makkah saw the boy, they thought he was a slave. When the people of Makkah saw the boy, they thought he was a slave, and pointing at him, called out Abdul Muttalib, Ab being the Arabic for slave. Al-Muttalib told them that Shaiba was not a slave, but his nephew who had come to live with them. From that day on, however, Shaiba was always affectionately called Abdul Muttalib. On the death of Al-Muttalib, who died in Yemen where he had gone to trade, Abd al-Muttalib took his place. He became the most respected member of his family, loved and admired by all. He was, however, unlike those Arabs who had given up the teachings of Abraham.